Hello everyone and welcome back inside to UCCU Ballpark for our second matchup between the American Fork Cavemen and the Riverton Silverwolves. The winner goes on to play for the 6A State Championship. My name is JT Wistersill, excited to be with you on the call. We appreciate you for joining us on KSL Sports Rewind. In order to force this game yesterday, Riverton beat American Fork 6-2. And as I mentioned, the winner of the contest, this one's simple, winner take all, will go on to the state championship. We'll give you the lineups for both teams now. First in the field for the Silverwolves, it'll be Dylan Zulo who gets the start on the mound. For Riverton, Caden Allred will play the catcher spot. Vernon over on first. Ortiz to second. Persall is playing third. Mazingo at short. Robbins in left field. Hanser in center field. And Moody is in right field. As for the bats of American Fork, it'll be C.J. Mascaro, Ryder Robinson, Josh Rojas, Dax Watts will bat cleanup. Cooper Jones will follow him in the fifth hole. Jet Walker batting sixth. Isaac Murdoch batting seventh. Gavin Schoonover batting eighth. And Davin Pace batting ninth. This is a rematch between last year's state championship game in which Riverton was able to claim victory. Riverton lost the first game to American Fork, but would go on to win the next two. American Fork won state a year before them, back in 2021. But only one can reach the title game this year, and they'll await the winner of tonight's matchup between Sky Ridge and the Mountain Ridge Sentinels to determine who they play. But it all starts here. Cavemen and Silverwolves underway right now. Ball one delivered slightly, though, there. It's the first time we've seen Zulo on the mound this week. We saw a little bit of Mascaro, who will get the start on the mound for American Fork. Mascaro up to bat first. Mascaro in yesterday's game between these two teams was hit by a pitch, the only time he was able to reach base. In fact, he grounded into a double play in one of his at-bats, flew out to center field, and grounded out to third in another. He's had a strong tournament overall. Launched a home run in his first at-bat in the game against Syracuse earlier. Back on Tuesday, that would have been. Grounds this one into foul territory. Count it 2-2. Silverwolves led for most of the game yesterday. They were sent into the loser's bracket after losing to Syracuse earlier in the week on Monday. And will reach full count the first delivery. Both teams deep in their bullpens now. That's the tough part about this week as it wears on. Zulo, Mascaro, full count. We'll do it again after that one's fouled off. Mascaro goes down looking, displeased as he heads back to the dugout. That'll bring up Ryder Robinson. Robinson in yesterday's action was retired on a line drive he launched. And speaking of line drives, this one, a low flyer, and it'll break in a right center field. He thought about trying to stretch it into a double, but we'll head back to the first. So with one out in the inning, the Cavemen get a runner on base. And I'll bring up Josh Rojas, the catcher, in a moment. Rojas with a runner on first. Takes ball one. Zulo's done a great job at second base all week for the Silverwolves. Now trying to get them off to a good start defensively. This ball's lifted into right field. I believe it's just going to end up in foul territory. Rojas in yesterday's action got the start on the mound for American Fork, but struggled a little bit early. and was pulled not long after. Inside the batter's box, flew out to right field, grounded into short, struck out, and flew out into left field, but did bring on a run late in the game. But American Fork's comeback attempts would fall short. Rojas, 1-1 the count. Fouls another off. Riverton led by head coach Jay Applegate, 24 years of experience, 356 wins coming into the bracket play, 220 losses. As for American Fork and Jared Ingersoll, their head coach, 21 years, 365 wins, 173 losses coming into bracket play. Simply put, two of the most accomplished coaches and programs over the last few years in high school baseball in the state of Utah. 1-2 the count. Zulo going to try for the pickoff attempt over on first. Just keeping Robinson honest over there. Matchup between the 6th-seeded Silverwolves and the 7th-seeded Cavemen. American Fork finished the season 17-11 overall, 7-8 in Region 4 play, but got hot when the tournament started to roll. And as for Riverton, they won Region 3, 12-3. Or excuse me, I believe I said Region 4 for American Fork, obviously what I meant. So for Riverton, they were 21-6 in regular season play, 12-3 in region, coming off their state championship appearance last season. 2-2 the count early. Quick mound meeting as all red jogs over. One out, Robinson on first. Chopper is going to be trapped, but not enough time to make the throw over. Great placement on the hit by Josh Rojas. So 2 on base now, 1 out. As we mentioned, it'll be interesting to see how both these teams' offense fares against pitchers that don't have as much experience overall. Most, only those 3-game series each week. Most teams don't need to go very far in their bullpen in the regular season. When you're making this deep of a run, it's very different. Dax Watts will be up in a moment. Cooper Jones will follow him. American Fork earned the 7th seed. They dispatched Corner Canyon in 2 games in the Super Regionals, then bested Westlake 9-3. Took on a red-hot Syracuse team that was the 14th seed, and were able to calm their offense, winning that one 9-3. And a line drive will break free into right field. It's bringing in the first run of the day for the Cavemen as Mascaro comes home. And making it over to third in the process was Robinson. American Fork, after losing yesterday's to Riverton 6-2, off to a hot start early. So Jones due up after Watts wasted no time bringing in a run. Low delivery, but trapped by Allred. RBI single, 2 runners on. 1-0 the count. Jones drills one. He'll take a bounce in shallow center field and easily crossing home is Ryder Robinson. Or backtrack a little bit. We had Mascaro who struck out, but since it's been a lot of success for American Fork, as Robinson was driven in on the RBI by Watts. And then Rojas just came home on that hit from Cooper Jones. So runners on first and second now. One-0 the count. 2-0 the Cavemen lead. Jet Walker allows a low delivery through. Walker in yesterday's action struck out, then flew out to right field, then boomed one in the left field. So we'll see our first mound meeting take place. Already pitchers warming up for the Silverwolves. Cooper Jones picked up right where he left off, basically. He had 3 hits and 4 at-bats. Flew out to center field in the final one, but before that, rocketed a triple into right field, then smacked a double into right field as well, and launched a line drive into left field to land himself on base. 4 hits already through just 5 batters. With Walker up now. As we said, Mascaro had the first strikeout, then Robinson singled on the line drive into right field. Rojas also making it safely to base on the chopper. Then Mazingo was able to trap but couldn't make the throw over in time. Then the back-to-back RBIs. (2-0) the count. Zulo trying to get the Silverwolves defense right with this upcoming delivery. It's fouled off for strike 1 in the count. As for how Riverton reached this point, the Silverwolves barely beat Lone Peak, 11-10 in the first game of the Super Regionals before besting them 14-4. And they fell to Syracuse in a 7-6 nail-biter. They were able to beat Westlake and Syracuse again, though, in the losers bracket before besting Riverton in yesterday's bout. 3-1 the count. Walker on first, Jones at second. Robinson and Rojas just came in for the 2-0 advantage here early for American Fork. This ball cracked, but it'll land in foul territory. So full count off that foul ball. Zulo looking for his second out of the inning. Walker will wait on the delivery as Zulo steps off for a moment to try and check Watts, who's on second. Walker wants it. Cracks one, and this one breaks free too. Slow rolling grounder, and going home and scoring for American Fork is Dax Watts. 3 straight RBIs for the Cavemen. So 2 runners on base. Once again, American Fork with the 3-0 lead. Jet Walker rising up with the on full count. Isaac Murdoch now due up. And shaken up after that one was Allred, whose arm is hurting at the moment. See a frustrated Coach Applegate right now, trying to figure out what's going on with Allred after taking that one on the arm. And also frustrated that his team's currently trailing 3-0. Zulo's been hit 5 times here early. Still no outs, 2 runners on. Jones at second. Walker at first now. Robinson, Rojas, and Watts also all had hits. It's been 5 straight hits since the early strikeout from Mascaro. (0-1) the count. Allred appears okay at the moment. Showing bunt and pulling back at the last moment was Isaac Murdoch. The 1-1 delivery. Zulo brings the count to 1-2 after the swing and miss from Murdoch. Silverwolves still hunting for that second out. And going down, watching, was Murdoch. Second strikeout for Zulo, but still 2 runners on base. Gavin Schoonover now due up. Schoonover in yesterday's action smacked one into right field. Also reached base safely on a grounder, but did ground into a double play in his final plate appearance. The Cavemen got runners on base, just left them stranded on. Riverton struck first early in yesterday's game, scoring a run in the top of the second and 2 in the top of the third. They would add 2 more in the top of the fifth to make it a 5-0 advantage. American Fork would score in the bottom of the 6th and the 7th, but not enough, as they would fall 6-2 after one more run was added by the Silverwolves in the top of the 6th. American Fork actually out-hit Riverton yesterday 11-9, but they weren't able to bring them in. They'll try to do so here. Schoonover currently 0-2 in the count. It's already been a successful inning for the Cavemen early, but they're looking to make it even more successful. A grounder rolls slowly, fielded cleanly by Ortiz at second, and he makes the out to first. So that will do it, but not before the Cavemen were able to score 3. We shift to the bottom of the first. Up next on KSL Sports Rewind. American Fork in front early, but the Silverwolves up to bat in a second. First, let's tell you the defensive lineup for the Cavemen. CJ Mascaro gets the start on the mound. Josh Rojas, the catcher. Dax Watts over at first. Jones on second. Jet Walker at short. Gavin Schoonover in left field. Schoonover at third. Ingersoll in left field. Murdoch in center field. And Pace in right field. Caden Allred, the catcher, leads off for the Silverwolves, followed by Zach Edwards. Drake Pearsall batting fourth is Alex Vernon. Dylan Zulo batting fifth. Carson Moody will follow him. Remington Robbins in the 7th hole with Cooper Hansen and Stein Mazingo rounding things out. As I mentioned, the Cavemen didn't even score 3 runs in yesterday's game, already with 3 here early. This one pops straight up in the air as Allred swings on the first pitch. It's called for and collected by Watts, stepping off of first. That'll bring up Zach Edwards. For Allred, it was a frustrating day yesterday. He grounded out to third, or on and off day. He did reach base twice and 2 well-hit ground balls. This is a Silverwolves team that's playing their 5th game here now. American Fork just their 4th. But Allred did have 2 grounders, but flew out to center field and grounded out to third also. Edwards due up. He had a big day for the Silverwolves yesterday, launching a line drive and a double in his first at-bat to get the first hit of the day for Riverton. Then boom to ground rule double into center field. Was retired on a drop 3 strikeout. Hits a slow rolling grounder, fielded cleanly by Jones, who gets the throw over to first. 2 up, 2 down for the Silverwolves early. I'll bring up Drake Pearsall. Flew out to center field in his first plate appearance, then struck out in a walk, but in his last one crushed a line drive into right field to put runners in scoring position. Mascaro locked in early. Makes it a 1-1 count on the outside delivery. We appreciate all of you for joining us at UCCU Ballpark all week for the 6A State Championships. If you want more state championship action, you guys can check out the 5A bracket where Dusty Lister has you covered down in BYU. We also have state soccer championships and lacrosse going on KSL Sports Rewind. 2-1 the count. Swinging and missing. is Pearsall. Two the count. Make it full count. The Cavemen were able to make some plays on full count. Pearsall looking to keep the first inning alive for the Silverwolves and do so here. Pearsall chops it. It's a slow roller. It's fair. It's going to be a long throw over to first, but it actually did just end up in foul territory, I believe. So we'll reset and do it again. It was very close down that third base line. A reminder, with the state championship games will be streamed tomorrow on KSL Sports. The lone game tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Ground ball breaks through. Up the middle. Pearsall with a base hit on full count. Going to bring up Alex Vernon. Before Vernon getting back to tomorrow's schedule. Tonight, Skyridge and Mountain Ridge will battle it out to determine who the other state championship team will be. And then tomorrow at 4 o'clock, we'll have the first state championship game for you guys. And then Saturday at 11 o'clock will be what could be the final game. Or if the opposite team wins that lost the first game, we'll have another one for 4:30. Dusty Lister has you covered here at UCCU Ballpark. Vernon had a monster game for the Silverwolves yesterday. He flew out to right field, but after that brought in RBIs, also grounded out to short, but still boomed in some big-time runs. Goes to 0-2 in the count. Bizzulo, the pitcher, on deck to bat. Vernon trying to avoid being Mascaro's first K of the day. And on the low delivery, they'll say that he did swing. So the drop 3, Vernon thought he pulled back. The appeal down to first, unsuccessful for him. And because of it, Riverton leaves the bottom of the first scoreless. The second inning, up next on KSL Sports Rewind. One inning in the books of our first semifinals game on KSL Sports Rewind. And it's all American Fork early. 5 hits, 3 runs scored. Riverton had 1 hit of their own, but left him the runner then stranded on base. American Fork did leave 2 runners stranded on base, but they went almost all the way through over. In fact, after Dav and Pace, they will have. And Pace due up right here. So it'll be Pace, then we'll turn it back over to Mascaro and Robinson in the second. Pace in yesterday's action reached base in all 3 of his plate appearances. First with a bunt. Then a ground ball. He placed between first and second. And then ripped one down the first base line. That landed perfectly in play. This ball's fouled off. The Silverwolves and Cavemen have combined for the last 2 state championships. They've met numerous times over the past couple seasons, including last year's state championship bout, which the Silverwolves were able to claim, with American Fork taking the one the year before, as I mentioned. 2-1 the count. This ball's pierced into center field. Pace with a primetime hit. So only 3 of the first 9 batters for American Fork failed to reach base. Incredible start. CJ Mascaro now due up. Struck out the last time we saw him. Looking to get right in this at-bat after getting off to a hot start on the mound. And Mascaro rips a line drive into right field. Pace is flying around the base pads. They're going to hold him up at second as he slides in. So Mascaro puts a runner firmly in scoring position on his first hit of the day. Zulo struggling here. There's other pitchers warming up at the moment. We are going to see Coach Applegate making his way over. This could be it for Zulo, who's given up 6 hits here early. Actually, make it 7 hits now, off that previous one we had from Pace before the launch from Murdoch. At the moment, no changes coming, it looks like. It could still be Zulo, but they will actually end up making a change. So we'll let you know what the Silverwolves decide to do on the mound when we come back. 3-0 Cavemen. Stein Mazingo looking to step up for the Silverwolves in the top of the second. 2 runners on base, no outs. It's Pace over on third, Mascaro at first. Silverwolves looking to get right early. Or my mistake, actually. Looks like it'll be Rocky Downs instead of Mazingo for the Silverwolves. So Rocky Downs, the freshman, set to face off against Ryder Robinson. Last time we saw Robinson, he singled on a line drive into right field. Robinson fouls this one off into his own body. Downs on the season, not credited with a win or a loss. Silverwolves deep in their pitching lineup. High delivery that count makes it 1-1. Pickoff attempt over to first. Unsuccessful as Mascaro easily makes it back safely. One and one. Robinson rips one into right field. And more runs coming in for the Cavemen. Mascaro makes it over to third, but more importantly, Pace scores on the RBI single from Ryder Robinson. It's 4-0 Cavemen here early. American Fork let one slip away, they know, by not landing an opportunity to have a day off. Instead, they got to be here, and they've shown up early, ready to make up for that missed opportunity. Still runners on first and third. Those line drives into right field, or just hits into right field in general, have kind of been the sweet spot here early. Four runs have now been driven in by American Fork on 8 hits. The Silverwolves have just 1 hit here early. Pickoff attempt down to first, once again unsuccessful, although that one a little bit closer as Robinson dives back safely. Mascaro over on third. With Rocky Downs now in for Zulo. Zulo, though, is over on second now. Rojas booms it into left field. It hangs high in the air. Brought in by Robbins. Out in left field, but not before Mascaro comes home. The sacrifice fly for the Cavemen. But finally an out for the Silverwolves. 5-0 the difference here. That'll bring up Dax Watts. Last time we saw Watts, he ripped one into right field to bring in the first run of the day for American Fork. Once again, Robinson dives over safely. Watts also got some run on the mound earlier this week. Downs has been a pinch runner a lot of the week for the Silverwolves. Now looking to shore up their defense, but he's been hit a few times here early. The high delivery. Leaping up to make the grab on it for Riverton is Allred. Two-0 the count. One out. Watts wants it. Fouls it off the back of his bat. Just about 30 minutes played in this one. A high-scoring affair early. We also had a thrilling finish in our game last night between the Sentinels and Falcons and could be in for another great one. That's at 7 o'clock right here at UCCU Ballpark. Two on the count. Watts lets it go. Pickoff opportunity. Unsuccessful. And there's no one there behind. So able to get all the way over to second is Ryder Robinson. Robinson with some big-time base running. He took off before the delivery was even there. Was a little over halfway, but not super far before the throw was made by Allred. And unable to squeeze in under his glove was Zulo on the delivery. A swing and a miss brings us to full count. Just the second time we've seen a Cavemen and Silverwolf, or at least when the Silverwolves been pitching and a Cavemen batting in this one. Full count, one out. Robinson on third. Watts brought in the first run of the day. Hits a slow rolling grounder, and Robinson able to come in and score. So Watts retired, but not before he brings in his second run of the day. So 2 outs now, but the difference 5-0. It's a similar lead that the Silverwolves held in their game yesterday against American Fork, but that took them to get to the 5th inning to reach that margin. Cavemen already got it, and we're still 1 out away from even the end of the top of the second. No runners on base anymore. Cooper Jones goes to 1-1 in the count off the swing and miss there. Jones, in his previous at-bat, ripped one into shallow center field to bring in the second run of the game. He blasts one high, sailing, giving chase, but able to make a grab under it is Hansen. Silverwolves get out of it, but not before 3 more runs score for American Fork. 6-0, the advantage, the Cavemen. Dylan Zulo, Carson Moody, and Remington Robbins all due up for Riverton, who's getting rocked here early. 6-0, but still a lot of time left. 8 hits already for American Fork, just 1 for Riverton. Mentioned the Silverwolves beating Lone Peak in those 2 narrow games last week. Zulo Slaps one high into left field. Called for by Ingersoll, who makes the grab. Zulo, in his only hit yesterday, did bring in a run on a big-time double. He boomed into left field. Outside of that, had a lot of walks, but was retired in his first at-bat. Carson Moody now due up. Moody takes that one off the back. He's had the hottest bat of any Silverwolves, so that could be okay for the Cavemen potentially. And the Silverwolves happy to get someone on base. Remington Robbins now due up. Robbins in yesterday's action was retired on a bunt at first, also flew out to center field, but crushed a line drive into center field in his final at-bat to bring in 2 runs. I mentioned some of the success that Moody's had in this tournament. In the second game against Syracuse, in his final 2 at-bats, he drove in 2 runs on an inside the park home run that he had, and then in his final at-bat, ripped an RBI single into right field. Sliding safely in a second nearly. He overslid a little bit, was Moody, but it squeaked out of the glove of Walker, so it wouldn't have mattered. Silverwolves with 1 out and a runner on second. Count at 1-1. CJ Mascaro off to a good start. Slightly low on the delivery that time for ball 2. Robbins looking to make a play for his team, still with just 1 hit, also charged with an error so far. Count even to 2 apiece off the swing and miss by Robbins. Silverwolves only had 1 run in 2 innings in yesterday's action, but exploded as the game wore on, looking to get off to a hotter start here, trailing 6-0. Ground ball just ends up in foul territory. Two the count. One out, runner on second. Mascaro checks behind. Wines delivers. It's popped up into foul territory, so the count will remain at 2-2. The winner of this one goes on to the state championship. The stakes couldn't be higher. 2-2. A swing and a miss. Oh, he just deflected off his bat. It looked like from my vantage point that he did not make contact, but apparently he did. Robbins still fighting to stay alive. Pickoff attempt to second, unsuccessful. As Moody, ready for it, quickly shifting back over to the base pad. Cooper Hansen on deck. Ball 3 of the at-bat. Robbins looking to put 2 runners on base with Hansen and Mazingo, the last 2 batters in the order for the Silverwolves. On deck, Mascaro looking for his first strikeout. This one's popped up in the air, flying into center field, tracking it, and able to make the grab is Murdoch. So after all that, just ends in a pop out. And that will bring up Cooper Hansen. Hansen in yesterday's action grounded out to short, but did bring in a run for the Silverwolves. Also flew out to right field and struck out. 2 outs now, so he's got to be careful. He pops it up. Going back on it. Or coming up on, and making the grab is Murdoch. Back-to-back outs for him on consecutive deliveries. And once again, the Silverwolves held scoreless. Cavemen still in command at UCCU Ballpark. 2 innings in the books already, and it's been All-American Fork early. The Cavemen have scored 3 runs in the top of the first and second to lead it 6-0 while holding the Silverwolves scoreless. Jet Walker due up to bat for the second time. Walker was the first batter to reach full count. He fouls this one back. But after reaching full count, he launched one in a ground ball into left field and was able to bring in a run. It was a 3rd consecutive run brought in by American Fork in the first inning. He lets the high delivery pass by him there. Rocky Downs still on the mound for the Silverwolves. Walker shows bunt, but pulls back on the high delivery from Downs. Silverwolves do have other pitchers occupying the bullpen and warming up. 2-2 the count. Downs looking for his first strikeout of the day and what would be the 3rd overall for the Silverwolves. Walker fouls it off, so the count will remain at 2-2. Full count. Back-to-back at-bats in which Walker has reached it. Walker pops it up in foul territory to stay alive. So it'll be Walker, Isaac Murdoch, and Gavin Schoonover all due up for the Cavemen, looking to increase their lead. Downs, a high delivery. He walks Walker. That is the first walk of the day surrendered by a Silverwolves pitcher. They've given up a lot of hits, but haven't walked anyone yet until then. Murdoch struck out the last time we saw him. Down so close to getting his first K on the previous at-bat with Walker. He'll look to acquire it here instead. Murdoch shows bunt, pulls back. On ball 1. It's a Silverwolves team that in their first game against Syracuse led 2-1 going into the top of the 6th. But then the Syracuse Titans had a 3-run homer, and they scored a few other runs to turn the tide of that game. They took a 6-2 advantage going into the bottom of the 6th. And Riverton would score in the bottom of the 6th and add 3 more in the bottom of the 7th too. But the Titans were able to add 1 in the top of the 7th to equal the 7-6 advantage. The Silverwolves left 3 runners on base in that one, which they were undoubtedly frustrated. It sent them into the losers bracket, where Westlake gave them everything they could hand it. But in the end, Riverton scored a run in the top of the 1st, 2 in the top of the 3rd, 1 in the top of the 5th, and held the Thunder scoreless in multiple innings. Slow rolling ground ball. The tag out, successful by Vernon. But in the process, heading to second is Walker. So first out of the inning. Schoonover, the first Caveman to be retired in back-to-back at-bats. And Now we'll bring up Gavin Schoonover. Last time we saw him, he grounded out to second, left 2 Cavemen on base in the top of the first. Walker at second. Chopper fielded cleanly over on short. The throw over to first is pure from Mazingo. But once again, Walker able to advance. He's on third now. So that'll bring up Davin Pace, who pounded one into right field on a line drive the last time we saw him. He'll look to bring in Walker here. The Cavemen trying to keep the scoring going. They'll need the last batter in their order in order to extend the inning. Mascara on deck. He's batted in each inning so far. Swing and a miss on the first delivery. Rocky Downs starting to get settled in here. This one boomed into center field, but in on it and successfully making the grab is Hansen. So Hansen gets the Silverwolves out of it. The first inning today, they haven't given up any runs. We'll see if their defensive momentum can turn into some offensive momentum on KSL Sports Rewind. Last year, the Silverwolves had to come back from losing the first game to American Fork in the state championship game, and they would respond with 2 impressive efforts going on to claim last year's title. And they're going to have to respond early, trailing by 6 currently. And Stein Mazingo, the last batter of their order, due up. It'll be Mazingo, then we'll turn it back over to Allred and Edwards. Mazingo did not bat in yesterday's action. Last time we saw Mazingo batting for the Silverwolves. Struck out swinging, but did bring in a run in his second at-bat. Also reached base on a grounder he crushed into left field. One and one the count. Dead center delivery for strike 2. Mascaro has been sharp early. Doesn't have a strikeout through the first 8 batters faced. Could acquire it here, but has only given up 1 hit so far. The outside delivery brings the count to 2-2. Full count, the first batter of the bottom of the third. Stein Mazingo resets. Pops it up. It'll end up in foul territory. And on the low delivery, Mazingo's heading to first. First walk of the day surrendered by Mascaro. Now due up for the second time today is Caden Allred. Allred in Riverton's first game of the day against Syracuse yesterday flew out to center field. Did reach base on a grounder. He gashed up the middle and then flew out to center field in his final 2 plate appearances. As mentioned, those 2 hits yesterday against American Fork and the last time we saw him. Popped out into foul territory in which Vernon stepped off at first. Watt stepped off first to retire him. In each of the previous 2 innings, the Silverwolves have gotten a runner on base, just haven't been able to bring him in or even get him over to third. Pickoff attempt over to first. Unsuccessful. It's a great battle between these two teams last night. As we mentioned, Riverton led it most early, and they were able to hold on late. This is a Silverwolves team that could be due for a big comeback. Mentioned Moody, the hero for the Silverwolves yesterday in the walk-off fashion. But he wasn't the only one to make some big plays for his team. Ball 2 delivered. The count currently at 2-0. Outside of Moody's hits. There's also some big plays by Edwards. Vernon had a couple mixed in after he was intentionally walked. Robbins and Cooper Hansen all contributing. As was Stein Mazinga, who drove in that big run in the low-scoring 5-4 battle in which the Silverwolves needed a walk-off victory to advance. They were held scoreless in the first 4 innings, but had all 5 of their runs in the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Mascaro's been money early, but currently 3 straight balls deliveries. Allred looking to join Mazingo on base. And off the ball delivery, that's what'll happen. So 2 runners on, no outs right now. Silverwolves with some momentum. We're going to see a meeting on the mound take place as there's also going to be a pinch runner jogging out for Allred. That's Ty Curtis on first. Talked about how Riverton reached this point. Let's dive a little bit closer into American Fork's journey. Mentioned those victories against the Chargers, against Westlake. The Thunder were actually the first one to take a lead, scoring a run in the top of the 3rd, but then it was all American Fork the rest of the way as they scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th, 1 in the bottom of the 5th, and 6th in the bottom of the 6th to punctuate the 9-3 advantage. The Thunder would add 2 runs in the top of the 6th, but as I mentioned, those 6 scored by American Fork too much as they out-hit the Thunder 11-5 on their way to a 9-3 victory. And the Cavemen kept the bats hot when facing off against Syracuse. Mascaro had the home run. Robinson drove in some runs. Jones, Perry, and Gavin Schoonover, all huge contributors in the Cavemen's crushing victory over Syracuse, 9-3. Last night they weren't able to bring runs, but did out-hit Riverton, as I mentioned. But it's the Silverwolves here with some momentum. 2 runners on base, no outs. Mascaro finds the strike zone again. Back-to-back walks surrendered by Mascaro. Last time we saw Edwards, he grounded out to second. I mentioned the big hits he had yesterday. The ground rule double into center field. The line drive he launched into left field. Looking to make more plays for his team here. And they need him, trailing by 6. Just 1 hit after 2 innings so far, but 2 runners on base here. Edwards takes the first ball of the at-bat. We started bracket play with 8 teams. We're down to just 4, and 2 more will be eliminated tonight until only 2 have an opportunity to play for the state championship tomorrow. Edwards pops it up, hangs high in the air, and is just going to end up in foul territory. Mascaro ahead in the count now after forcing Edwards to foul that one off. He's yet to have a strikeout. but a chance for one here. Mascaro gets the signal he likes from Rojas, delivers. Edwards rips one into center field. And a run could score for the Silverwolves. In fact, it will. First RBI of the day. And it comes courtesy of Edwards. Launching that line drive into center field. And it brings up Drake Pearsall. Last time we saw him, he crushed a grounder up the middle field. That was the first base hit of the day. The Silverwolves now with 2 base hits. Still no outs in the inning. Six to 1, the advantage still 5 for the Cavemen. A comfortable lead, but a lot of time left in this one. High delivery by Mascaro. No one warming up in the bullpen for American Fork. Pearsall. Let strike one come in, or excuse me, strike two on the breaking ball. Two on the count, actually, my mistake. Mascaro checks behind. Delivers. A ground ball is fielded cleanly. Opportunity for a double play. And the Cavemen can make it. 2 outs now in the inning. As a few of them thought they were already 1 out, so they have to reset after that. But the double play made as it was fielded cleanly on the grounder. It was Walker who made the grab, got it over to Jones, who came over to cover second, and then Watts on first. One run is already scored for the Silverwolves, and they have another one in position with Alex Vernon due up. Last time we saw Vernon, he was retired on the drop 3 strikeout. Vernon vanquishes one, and it's going to drop in shallow left field. Another run for the Silverwolves, now trailing by just 4. The second RBI single for the Silverwolves in the bottom of the third. Vernon over at first. I'll bring up Dylan Zulo once again. Zulo, last time we saw him, flew out to left field. But as I said in yesterday's game, a lot more success for him. He had 3 walks as he was taking what the pitchers of the Cavemen were giving him. And his 1 hit was a double. He ripped into left field and also drove in a run. 2-0 the count early. Mascaro 1 out away from getting the Cavemen back on the offensive after that double play was made. Strike 1 is put through by Mascaro. On the low delivery, it's squeezed away from Rojas for a moment. Count at 3-1. But he's able to track it down before Vernon would have a chance to steal second. Zulo takes ball 4. Carson Moody due back up. Crushed. One into left field, but was retired the last time we saw him. But coming off his inside the park home run and the walk-off single in yesterday's game, he could get hot at any moment. Brought in the first run of the night for the Silverwolves yesterday in his first at-bat. Was retired and then following 2 at-bats. Two outs after the double play, 2 runners on base. Moody allows the low delivery to pass. Mascaro trying to regain what he found in the early innings against the Silverwolves. Struggling in the bottom of the third, but one delivery away from getting out of it. One and one, the count. Pick-off attempt over to second, unsuccessful as Vernon dives safely back to the bag. Seen 3 walks given up in the bottom of the second by Mascaro. 1-1 in the count currently with Moody. Moody takes strike 2. Moody pops it straight up in the air. Giving chase, calling for it, and making the grab from center field is Murdoch. So 2-run score for the Silverwolves. They trail by just 4, entering the 4th on KSL Sports Rewind. We're set for some 4th inning action here at UCCU Ballpark. It's the top of the order. Due up for the Cavemen, Mascaro, Robinson, and Rojas. Downs still on the mound for the Silverwolves after they found a little bit of offensive momentum in the bottom of the third with a couple hits. They scored 2 runs, trailing by 4 now. They held the Cavemen scoreless in the top of the third. They look to do so again here. Mascaro chops it off. Count goes to 0-2. Downs yet to have a strikeout since taking over for Zulo. Zulo now over on second. Rojas fouls this one back by us. Most of the infield playing back into the shallow outfield, basically. Mascaro hits a grounder. It's fielded off the bounce. Long throw over to first, off target. And Mascaro, as it ended up getting stuck. Looks like it got stuck in the dugout somehow. So either way, a nice opportunity for Mascaro as he turns a single into a double. Off the throwing error. There was a lot of heat put on that one. It was a nice play coming over by Mazingo from short trying to stop it. So no outs. Mascaro to second. Mascaro had struck out in his first at-bat, but then crushed a line drive into right field to reach base in his second. Speaking of crushing balls, this one driven deep into left field, going back, and making the grab on it was Robbins. And no tag-up opportunity for Mascaro. One out now in the top of the fourth. First time that Robinson has failed to reach base. He launched 2 line drives into right field the last time we saw him, the latter of which brought in a run. And that will bring up Josh Rojas. Rojas, in his first plate appearance, crushed a chopper to short that was too hot to handle. Then flew out to left field last time we saw him, but did bring in a run. Going over and trying to steal third, and doing so successfully on the clean slide was Mascaro. The speed of Mascaro makes it in time. He took off early and now resides on third with 1 out in the inning. It almost didn't even seem real how clean that slide was for Mascaro. He popped up perfectly on the base pads. Now over on third, looking to stretch the advantage to more than 5 runs. Do see some pitchers currently warming up for American Fork. We'll see if they decide to make a change or if they'll continue to roll with Mascaro. Downs. Gets Rojas to bite on one. He's 0-2 in the count. The Silverwolves defense has sorted itself out. Rojas steps back in. 0-2 the count, 1 out, calls for a late time. Ready for the delivery from Downs. And the hard hit single will break free just past second base. Cavemen add another one. So Mascaro comes home. We're also going to see a pinch hitter come in from a pinch runner come in from Mascaro. So Rojas with his second RBI of the day. Watts now due up. Watts grounded out to short the last time we saw him, but before that, ripped an RBI into right field. And speaking of ripping one, this is a ground ball, breaks free into left field, and the speed trying to and diving into second, successfully doing so. Wow, able to turn it into a double. What a sequence for Watts with a big hit. The pinch runner for the Cavemen now over on third. Silverwolves have other pitchers warming up. We're going to see a mound meeting take place. Watts over on second. It was just going to be a single, but able to stretch it over. After the decision to try to get it over to third and retire the pinch runner. Downs taking a walk off. His day is done for. We'll tell you who the Silverwolves turn to when we return on KSL Sports Rewind. Carson Moody has been potent at the bats all week, and now he's looking to calm them down for the Cavemen as he is the new pitcher that Coach Applegate is rolling with. The move sends Downs out into right field now. Due up after the big-time hit from Watts, which would have just been a single, but do them thrown over trying to retire Greening, who's the pinch runner for American Fork, who's over on third currently. Speedy Greeny was able to stretch that one and get over to third because of the decision to throw there. Watts able to make it over to second. And Cooper Jones now due up. Last time we saw him, flew out to center field. But in his first at-bat, cracked one into shallow center field and drove in a run. Dodges the first inside delivery from Moody. Two runners in scoring position. Moody grounds one, and it's breaking through. Another hard hit one that ends up in left field. An RBI single for Carson. Hit hitting Carson Moody that time was Cooper Jones. Eight to 2, the differential. Jet Walker due up. So Greening was driven in. Watts over to third. Moody at second. Walker due up again. Last time we saw him, he walked. And before that, had a grounder in very similar position that we just saw one smacked between second and third. That brought in a run. Still just one out in the inning. 0-1 the count after the swing and miss from Walker. Walker lets that pitch go by wisely as it evens the count at 1-1. Watts waiting to come home from third. Jones settled on first. One of the Cavemen coaches going to talk things over with Walker as they decide how to play this. It'll be Walker with Murdoch on deck. Murdoch, the lone American Fork batter, yet to reach base. Walker 1-1 in the count, looking to extend the Cavemen lead. They're up to 12 hits now. They had 11 in the entire game yesterday. They only scored 2 runs yesterday. They already outscored that in the top of the first. Walker. Instead, we'll see Moody take a moment to look over to first. Strike 2 delivered. 2-1 the count. The lead back up to 6, the 8-2 advantage, but an opportunity for the Silverwolves to limit the damage to just that. Carson Moody looking for his first K of the day. And I believe that one did deflect away. It wasn't out. Tag out opportunity at home. Did they get it? No, they didn't. They'll say he missed. They'll say Moody swung low on the tag out attempt and missed. And the reach around from Watts as he's able to be safe. So Walker retired, but it doesn't matter. Coach Applegate going over to hear an explanation. But as I said, I believe what I saw from my vantage point was that he went over. It looked like he was going to have the tag out, but because he had actually missed him, and by the time he did tag him, Watts had reached his hand around and was able to tag home plate successfully. So 9-2 the differential, and I'd be shocked to see it change. In terms of them at least reversing the called run that just scored. Silverwolves fans not pleased with the call. Coach Applegate heads back. You guys can hear the boos, I'm sure. Those are for the umpires. As the American Fork fans applaud. 9-2 the difference. A lot happened there. Strikeout from Moody. So 2 outs now. Watts decided to come home. That pitch had escaped Alderd, who's on the catcher's spot, and they looked to be in the position to make the outs, but Watts able to just dive safely in. And Jones over to second now with Murdoch up. Oh, 1 the count with 1 runner on second. And Murdoch, who struck out in his most recent at-bat, was retired at first. It's a 7-run advantage right now for American Fork. It's the 3rd time in 4 innings they've scored 3 runs. They could add a few more with Jones on second, but Murdoch's got to be careful. Low delivery for ball 1 of the at-bat. Murdoch chops one. It's breaking through, and they're going to send Jones home. Jones going in. The high throw won't get there in time. It's a 10-2 advantage. The Cavemen over the Silverwolves. I believe there's some confusion about how many outs there may be at the inning or some situation there, but I do believe there's, either way, regardless of what the confusion is, I believe there's 2 outs. And Murdoch, fresh off his first base hit on first. We've seen a lot of runs, we've seen a few shallow fies and line drives, but a lot of runs too, those grounders and those low line drives right between second and third and first and second. It's been the sweet spot for the Cavemen's bats today. Murdoch dives safely back to first. Schoonover up, pace on deck, then we're back over to the top. Then we'd be back to the top of the order for American Fork if they could reach that margin. This one chopped into foul territory. Oh, 2 the count. 2 outs. Last time we saw Schoonover, grounded out to short, and before that, grounded out to second. The chopper, it's a foot race over to first, and the throw on target. The Silverwolves get out of it, but the Cavemen score 4 runs, a 10-2 differential.
Okay. Yung kamalawa dan su asin sa tapos sito dala bi alawa pamino dala.
Remington Robbins due up to begin play in the bottom of the 4th. Mascaro still on the mound for American Fork. Gave up 2 runs in the bottom of the 2nd, and there were other pitchers warming up in the top of the 4th, but at the moment he's still their guy. He's facing off against Remington Robbins, Cooper Hansen, and Stein Mazingo. The back of the bats for Riverton. 13-3 the difference in hits in this one. Silverwolves also charged with 2 errors. They've had multiple errors in each game so far, but they've been able to overcome them in most of their bouts. Both these teams vying for an opportunity at a state championship. If they were to each win a state championship for the Silverwolves, it would be back-to-back. For the Cavemen, they're second in 3 years. They may have been the 7th seed, but have looked dominant in postseason play. Count remains at 1-2 after this one's fouled back into the net. Last time we saw Remington Robbins, he flew out to center field. Thought about swinging on that one, the low delivery for ball 2. The count at 2-2. Robbins in the first game yesterday against Syracuse, reached base in all 3 of his plate appearances. He's gotten a full count here for the 2nd straight at-bat. His success yesterday included a grounder. He crushed up the middle. Another grounder he hit using the wheels to make it before the throw after he grounded to short. And then a slow roller he reached base on. He pops this one into left field, giving chase backwards on it, and misplaying it after a moment in left field was Ingersoll. Ingersoll appeared calm for the moment, but then realized he wasn't far enough back and turned and ran. Wow! A fortunate play for the Silverwolves. So a runner on second now. Isaac Murdoch was the center fielder yesterday, but today it's Ingersoll. So Remington Robbins continues his hot streak, crushing that double. Brought in 2 runs in yesterday's game as well. That'll bring up Hansen for the second time. Flew out to center the last time we saw him. The Cavemen close to acquiring the first out there, but instead they allow a runner to take second. Rojas jogging up to the mound to have a convo. One-0 the count here. Hansen, who in yesterday's action drove in a run after grounding out to short. Flew out to center field and left field in his last 2 plate appearances. In the first game yesterday against Syracuse, did have a bunt that allowed him to reach base safely. 1-1 the count goes off that strike delivery. A reminder to stick around, 7 o'clock tonight. Sky Ridge takes on Mountain Ridge, in what should be a great game. We'll have it here for you on KSL Sports Rewind at UCCU Ballpark. Sky Ridge won the first game, the 2 played back on Tuesday night, with yesterday Mountain Ridge able to claim victory to force the another game. 2-2. Three won the count. And the inside delivery leads to a walk. So 2 runners on base now. Fourth walk surrendered by Mascaro. All of them have come in the past 2 innings. Coach Ingersoll making his way up to the mound. Going to talk things over with Mascaro. Could see a change here, but we'll wait and see. Cavemen trying to figure out how they want to play this. Well, we have an opportunity. Let's talk to you a little bit about the game we saw last night against Mountain Ridge and Sky Ridge. If the Falcons had won, they would have been in the state championship game, and we wouldn't have a second game tonight. But that's not how it played out, as the Sentinels trailed early. It was 5-1 going into the 4th when the Sentinels scored 2 runs, but the Sky Ridge Falcons would add some too. Would add 1 in the bottom of the 1st. So a 6-3 the difference heading into the top of the 6th. But then it was a Mountain Ridge takeover, as they scored 3 runs in the top of the 6th and 4 in the top of the 7th, holding Sky Ridge to just 1 in the bottom of the 7th. They had tied it up with those 3 runs they scored in the 6th. And then heading into the 7th, they got the bats hot. And they relied on the freshman pitcher, Leo, who stepped in on the mound for them to close the deal, too, and punched the 10-7 win. Pinch hitter for the Silverwolves as they roll with Mazingo. Or excuse me, Cohen Allred, actually. So Cohen Allred, the pinch hitter. 1-0 the count. Pick-off attempt to second, unsuccessful. No outs in the inning. At the moment, the game's still in the hands of Mascaro, but as we mentioned, there are bodies occupying the bullpen. They got warm a little bit ago, but are currently just sitting and watching. So instead of Stein Mazingo hitting, it's Allred. 1-1 the count. Allred drills it into center field, giving chase and making the grab. Falling down on the move is Murdoch. He gives it everything he's got on the throw and is able to prevent, after tagging up, Robbins from trying to go home. That'll bring us back up to Caden Allred. 1 out now. Runners on first and third. Allred in his most recent plate appearance a walk, and before that, fouled out to first base. (10-2) the difference in this one. Could have an interesting situation playing out for American Fork if they are able to get out of this one without scoring any runs, although that will be a difficult task with Robbins over at third. If they were able to do that and score 2 runs in the top of the 5th and hold the Silverwolves scoreless again, that would give them the mercy victory and allow them to advance to the state championship game. The Silverwolves trying to prevent that from happening. Allred. Let's strike one through. 1-1 the count. Two of the top programs in the state, both vying for an opportunity to return to the state championship after they both battled it out there last year. Ground ball, fielded cleanly, opportunity for a double play. And hesitating for a moment, that time over at short was Jones. So it brings in a run as Robbins comes in. Hansen was retired at second. So we're going to see a pinch runner come in, excuse me. It's going to be Ty Curtis. So 10-3 the difference, 2 outs now. Nearly had a double play to get them out of it. But Jones just couldn't make the throw over to Watts in time. So Caden Allred safe on first. That brings up Zach Edwards. Last time we saw Edwards, he launched a line drive into center field and brought in a run. Before that, grounded out to second. Won the count with 2 outs. Pops it straight up in the air. It's called for. And Jones collects it to get the Cavemen out of it. They surrender 1 run, but still lead by 7. Looking to stretch the lead when the 5th inning gets underway from UCCU Ballpark on KSL Sports Rewind. 4 innings in the books, and American Fork leads it by 7. If the Cavemen were able to score at least 3 runs or more in the top of the 5th and then hold the Silverwolves scoreless in the bottom of the 5th, or just exit the bottom of the 5th with a lead of more than 10 runs, then they would enact the mercy rule and advance to the state championship game. Davin Pace due up, the last batter in the order for American Fork. Waste no time. Popping this one up in the air. It's called for and collected. Over in left center field. Making the grab was Hansen. That'll bring up CJ Mascaro for the 4th time today. Last time we saw him, he was able to make it to second. Looked like he was going to be thrown out at first, but that was when the throw got away from Vernon over on first and got stuck in the dugout. Before that, ripped a line drive into right field and the strikeout. One out in the inning. (2-0) the count. Moody. The delivery. And he puts through strike number 1. Count now 3-0. Or 3-1, check that. And Mascaro reaches base for the 3rd consecutive at-bat. Silverwolves fans disagree with the called zone there. Looked outside from my vantage point. Now due up is Ryder Robinson. Last time we saw him, he flew out to left field, but before that, back-to-back line drives he crushed into right field. The latter of those 2 line drives brought in a run. American Fork scored 3 runs in the top of the 1st and 2nd, were scoreless in the top of the 3rd, but added 4 in the top of the 4th. Currently sit in the top of the 5th with 1 out and 1 runner on base. 1-0 the count. Unsuccessful pickoff attempt over to first as they try to retire Mascaro. Chopper in foul territory. "13 hits for American Fork, 4 for Riverton. Silverwolves did have 1 run in the bottom of the 4th, but still trail. Another fouled off, bringing the count to 2-2. Robinson batting right now. Rojas, Watts, and Jones all due up if the inning continues. There is action in the bullpen for American Fork. We'll see if they decide to swap out Mascaro or not. Who's currently sitting on first? 2-2 in the count is Robinson. Lets the outside delivery pass to bring us to full count. The low delivery, trying to steal second, and did he do so safely, Mascaro? It was close, and looks like he just made it in time. Oh, excuse me, that was off the walk anyways, on the outside delivery. So my apologies for getting excited for nothing. I will blame that partially on Allred, though, for throwing it over to second on the pickoff, on what looked like a pickoff attempt. Still 1 out, 2 runners on base now. After Mascaro able to comfortably reach second. Back-to-back walks surrendered by Moody. There are other Silverwolves sitting in the bullpen for Riverton. 0-1 the count. Robinson, last time we saw him, launched a grounder right up the middle of the field. Then flew out into left field, but did bring in a run on the sacrifice fly. And then had a chopper that was too hot to handle at short. This slow roller just squeezes through. And the Cavemen send Mascaro home. He makes it safely. And sliding in safely to third. And also safe on second are more American Fork base runners. 11-3, the lead. So Mascaro exit, obviously because he scores, and then Rojas coming off the big hit. That grounder nearly having that one was Persall, who tried to dive and grab it. So he's able to get Robinson all the way from first over to second. Mascaro came home from second, or all the way from, Robinson came over from first, now on third, and Rojas stretching into a double as they were more focused with trying to retire Robinson, making it to second. Dax Watts now due up. Watts was retired on a grounder to short in his second plate appearance, but outside of that, drove in a run when he rocketed one into right field. It was the first run of the day, and then gashed a ground ball just like that one, and it's going to bring in not 1, but 2 runs. It'll be close coming in at home, and they get the out. Wow! What a throw from Rocky Downs out in right field. And as he's able to retire, Greening, the pinch runner. 12-3 the difference. But 2 outs now. The potential mercy run on first. What a throw from Downs in right field. Normally Moody, who's currently on the mound, residing there. So 2 outs now. And Cooper Jones due up. Jones has had a hot bat today. He flew out to center field, but has 2 runs brought in his other 2 at-bats. Smashing 1 to center field and the other into left field. This ball just ripped into foul territory. Once again, American Fork 1 run away from taking that 10-run lead. And then if they were able to hold the Silverwolves scoreless, it would mean they win. One and one the count. Two on the count. 1 runner on. Jones has had himself quite the day, as I discussed. He's had a strong tournament overall, too. He's launched some huge balls in every game he's played in. Chopped this one. It's fielded cleanly over on third, and the high throw over to Vernon makes it in time. So no matter what happens, we'll be playing a 6th as Riverton able to keep their season alive for now, but they got some work to do to get back into this one on KSL Sports Rewind. 12-3 the current difference in this one. The Silverwolves trying to get back into it. It'll start with Drake Pearsall. Alex Vernon's on deck, and Dylan Zulo is in the hole. Pearsall, in his previous plate appearance, grounded out into a double play, and before that, crushed a grounder up the middle of the field for the first base hit of the day for the Silverwolves. One of just 4 hits they have in total. They're being out-hit 15-4 in this one. I believe 15 is the most hits we've seen as well in our bracket play here in the 6A portion. 1-1 the count. A reminder, stick around, 7 o'clock. Game 2 of the night, as we'll determine who else will be reaching the state championship. Will it be the top-seeded Skyridge Falcons or the 5th-seeded Sentinels? High fly ball, back on it, and grabbing it right before he bumps into the wall is Ingersoll. So Pearsall flies out to left field. 1 out now. If American Fork had scored one of those runs instead of sending Greening and having him getting tagged out at home, if they had held up and had another situation play out, they'd be 2 outs away from officially punching their ticket to the state championship game. At any moment, if they do exceed that 10-run mark, the Silverwolves, being the designated home team because they are the higher seed, would still get the opportunity to bat. Look at Vernon's day so far. He crushed one in shallow left field to drive in a run earlier for the Silverwolves and struck out in his very first at-bat of the game. 1-1 the count with 1 out. That one just catches the inside of the zone. Strike 2. Vernon trying to avoid being retired by Mascaro for what would be the 2nd time today. Mascaro chops it. It's fielded cleanly off the bounce. And the throw over to first is pure. That was Walker at short who made the grab. Now due up is Dylan Zulo. Zulo started the day on the mound for the Silverwolves. That was a short stint after he was rocked a few times early. Zulo flew out to left field also with a walk. Silverwolves trying to keep their chances of repeating alive. That ball fair. The long throw over is successful. Schoonover makes the grab. 12-3 still the difference on KSL Sports Rewind for the Cavemen. We're set for some 6th inning action at UCCU Ballpark. It's been all Cavemen in this one. They lost 6-2 to the Silverwolves yesterday, never getting that offensive momentum, but they had the offensive momentum pretty much as soon as this one started. They need 1 run and then to hold the Silverwolves scoreless to enact the mercy rule. Tasked with getting that run is going to be Jet Walker, Isaac Murdoch, and Gavin Schoonover. And right on cue, a ground ball breaks through into left field. Walker reaching base for the 3rd time in 4 at-bats. Did so in the first 2 with a walk, and one he launched into left field on a grounder similar to that one. So the potential game-ending run, barring a defensive stand for the Silverwolves, or barring a defensive stand for the Cavemen, and then some offense for the Silverwolves. We'll see if they decide to stick with Moody or change pitchers. They do have other guys in the bullpen, but not entirely sure if they've been warming up. In fact, originally someone was seen running over, but looks like they were just throwing the ball around. So at the moment, unclear what they're going to do. But officially an hour from right now, as we mentioned, Sky Ridge and Sentinels getting underway here at UCCU Ballpark on KSL Sports Rewind. And Moody's heading in. We'll tell you who the Silverwolves have turned to when we come back on KSL Sports Rewind.
Okay. Okay. You ain't on my level, then shoot. I fit inside 똑같은 질투 떠나비 어려워 흥미도 달라.
The Silverwolves trailing late here, and they've turned to Gage Woods to try to get them back into it on the mound. Rocky Down still in right field instead of having Carson Moody out there, so it could potentially be the end of the tournament for Moody and the Silverwolves, and Moody has had an exceptional one. As I discussed earlier, brought in those 2 runs on the inside the park home run in that game yesterday against Syracuse, and then the RBI single to win it in walk-off fashion. He's had a few other big-time hits overall, but Moody, simply put, one of the best players of the week in tournament play. So Coach Applegate and his team trailing. The difference in hits is now 16-4. The Cavemen have had more hits in this game than anyone else in bracket play this week. Walker over at first. Isaac Murdoch and Gavin Schoonover due up here. Murdoch and Schoonover just 1 hit combined between in their 6 at-bats. Murdoch in his previous plate appearance, though, did acquire that 1 hit after he ripped an RBI into left field. Walker at first. Low delivery squeezes away, and Walker easily heads over to second. Silverwolves do have other pitchers they can turn to if needed. The potential mercy run at second. Silverwolves have gotten hot, though, on a few different occasions. So they could be able to get back into this one in terms of not allowing a mercy, but it's going to take a lot for them to get back into this game as they currently trail by 9. The low delivery there for a strike. 1-1 the count. A swing and a miss from Schoonover, who's now 1-2 in the count. Woods, the fourth pitcher of the day for Riverton, looking to get his first strikeout in the first batter he's faced. This ball's fouled off. Schoonover fighting to stay alive and trying to protect home plate. The Cavemen on the cusp of their third straight state championship appearance. This one's popped up into foul territory. Woods, the sophomore, set for the delivery. Two the count. Schoonover. Thought about swinging on it. Instead, let's strike three, pass him by. Woods off to a hot start. That'll bring up Schoonover, the only American Fork batter without a hit today. Grounded out to second and shorten his other two plate appearances. Trying to not leave Walker stranded on second. Walker represents the potential game-winning run. The slow-rolling chopper misfielded for a moment by Woods, but then gets it over to Vernon on first. So now just one out left to be acquired for the Silverwolves. And if American Fork wants to have a shot at ending this in the bottom of the sixth, they'll need to bring in Walker. Davin Paste going to be tasked with trying to do it. Pace swings on the low ball for strike one, fouling it off. Walker waiting for an opportunity to come home. This ball's launched. And giving chase back on it. It's going to drop and take a bounce, reaching the wall. Walker scores. Still going his pace. They're still fumbling around with it. They might decide to send him home instead. They'll have him hold up at third. Davin Pace brings in the potential game-winning run for American Fork. It's a 13-3 advantage. Pace with the first triple we've seen from either side today. He absolutely obliterated that ball. You could see out there both Robinson and Hanson in left field and center field giving chase. CJ Mascaro, who's close to going the distance for American Fork. Due up to bat now. 1-0 the count. Make it 2-0 on the high delivery from Woods, who got off to a hot start with those two quick outs. The strikeout he got on Murdoch, and then forcing Schoonover to ground out to him. Mascaro in his fifth at-bat of the day. He's had two big hits and a walk. Waiting for an opportunity to launch another one here. And instead, he takes four straight balls as he's heading over to first. Two runners on, two outs. Second consecutive walk for Mascaro. Before that, he launched two balls, one into right field on a line drive. The other was a tough hit one, and a throwing error over to first. This ball boomed high in the air. Waiting on it and making the grab is Rocky Downs in right field. 17 hits for American Fork. And we could have a potential mercy on our hands if the Silverwolves aren't able to score in the bottom of the sixth. Stay with us to see how this one will play out. We're set for the bottom of the sixth. And if the Silverwolves don't score a run, then this one will be over. Gage Woods, the pinch hitter, who's coming up in places of Moody. Interesting to not see Moody bat. But he hasn't had this kind of day he hoped for. He's hit by a pitch and flew out to center field. Mascaro looking to close it out for American Fork and send them to another state championship. Swing and a miss by Woods. He's 0-2 in the count. Mascaro has had so much success today, but has only giving up 4 hits and 3 runs in total. Nearly had his first strikeout there, but the curveball just a little too far outside the zone. Two the count. Ground ball fielded cleanly by Watts, who taps on the bag to retire Woods. American Fork just 2 outs away from sending themselves to another state championship. The runners-up a year ago, they won the first game and then lost the final 2 to Riverton. But before that, the 30-1 season that ended in a 2 straight victory over Pleasant Grove to claim the title. This ball sent high, and it's going to drop in shallow center field. So a runner on base for the Silverwolves trying to keep their season alive. It's going to take a Herculean effort in order to do so. Remington Robinson rocks it, his second consecutive base hit. So he's on first now, 1 out. And we're waiting to see. We could see a pinch runner come up. In fact, we will. For Riverton, they're turning to Max McInnes. Max McInnes, the senior. Up to bat, trying to extend this game. The Silverwolves need a run to do so. Won the count. Under Coach Ingersoll, this American Fork baseball program has become a powerhouse. Looking to reach their 3rd consecutive state championship. 2 outs away from doing it. 1-1 the count. Mascaro trying to close it out for them. 2-1 the count. Two the count. Max McInnes. Awaiting the delivery. Or Max McInnes, Goes down swinging. The first strikeout of the day for Mascaro. And he's absolutely earned it with how he performed. One out left And it'll be Stein Mazingo who's up to bat once again. Cohen Allred was pinch hitting for him the last time we saw him. Fly ball, center field. Murdoch makes the grab. American Fork advances to the state championship game for the third consecutive year. It was all Cavemen here today. They started off with 6 runs scored in the first 2 innings. They added 4 more in the top of the 4th, 2 in the top of the 5th, and 1 in the top of the 6th. Also, only surrendering 3 as they claim the 13-3 victory off of 17 hits in total to just 5 for the Silverwolves. CJ Mascaro goes the distance on the mound. He was dominant for almost the entire day. The defense for the Cavemen was sharp, as were their bats. Mascaro boomed a few shots. Pretty much everyone. Robinson rocked a few. Rojas, Watts, Jones, Walker, all with some of their best days of tournament play. Davin Pace contributed as well, with Murdoch and Schoonover also in it. And Coach Ingersoll and his squad are going on for an opportunity to play for a state championship game. As a reminder, Game 1 will be played tomorrow. That one's scheduled for 4 o'clock. And we'll have it here for you on KSL Sports Rewind, 4 o'clock. Then the last 2 games will be played, potential, if there's 2 games, at 11 o'clock on Saturday, with, if necessary, the last one played at 4:30. But American Fork needs an opponent. Who will it be? Stay with us. In about 40 minutes from now, we will see the Sky Ridge Falcons, the top seed in our tournament, take on the 5th-seeded Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Only one can advance in a winner-take-all game. Who will it be? We'll see you at 7 o'clock. But your final here, the 7th-seeded American Fork Cavemen avenge yesterday's loss to Riverton and are moving on to the state championship game as they win it 13-3. For Vince Francis, my cameraman, and all the hardworking men and women here at UCCU Ballpark and with the UHSAA, I'm JT Wistersill. We'll see you at 7.